Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live at the Waterhole here with Wild Earth using the AfriCam cameras on this Tuesday afternoon. We have a elephant bull that is hiding himself behind the tree over here. My name is Kerry Dupree, everybody, and I will be your naturalist for the day. I'll actually be with you most of the day today. Most of the week this week on Live at the Waterhole. We did have a pretty amazing day yesterday. I must say I was rather excited, almost jumping out of my seat. We had 5 mammal species all in one frame over at Oldonyo in Kenya, in Kenya. And we had incredible, about 5 or 6 massive big bulls, all standing facing our camera, and we had some oryx coming by, we had zebra, eland, and giraffe all in one frame, which was absolutely mind-blowing. I must say I was rather excited. I even took a picture to got our director for yesterday, Jordan, to take a quick video for me. It was rather exciting to get so many mammal species all in one frame, especially the fact that the elephant had decided that they were kind enough to share the watering hole with so many other mammal species. So we have started today in Tembe Elephant Park in Maputoland, South Africa. It looks like a bit of a windy day today. A nice big elephant bull that is unfortunately hiding from us, not showing us his lovely pearly white ivory. Looks like we do also have a few impala. Not too sure if these are females or a couple of rams. Nope, looks like it could be a few females. We did also have some Egyptian geese here yesterday, as well as some nyala that got a bit of a fright from a few elephants coming out of nowhere. So you can definitely see it's quite windy today. So just a reminder, folks, I can see all the comments are already coming through. So thank you already for sending your comments through. So excited we have people joining us today. So just a reminder that this is a live and interactive show. So don't forget to use the hashtag @WildEarth and join in the conversation. Head over to Twitter or X as well as YouTube to join us on this amazing afternoon of Live at the Waterhole. And we have some Impala here. Beautiful female coming down for a drink. Oh, there's our Egyptian goose. Speak of the devil. See his bottom up in the air and looking for some food. So, yep, I see already we've got questions and comments coming through. So, thank you. Welcome to everyone. I'm really excited to be with you again today. We have, shucks, lots of people welcoming us. Thank you for all the welcomes, everybody. What's happening there? It looks like there's some Egyptian geese just on the shoreline there that's kind of giving this nyala a bit of caution. She's being a bit wary. So Mercedes Beanie, thank you again for joining us. And welcome. I hope you've had a lovely day so far. And yes, it is a lovely Tuesday, a windy Tuesday morning here in South Africa. So Brazen Spirituality, again, from Houston, Texas, welcome, and thank you for joining us on the show today. So Mercedes Ben also is sending us through a comment about an amazing sighting at Oldonyo earlier. Apparently there were 2 lionesses, and one could have been an oddwolf of some sort. 2 lionesses. Wow, that must have been really amazing. They've had some pretty amazing sightings at Oldonyo, so I would not be surprised. Perfect habitat and terrain over at Oldonyo to have aardwolf, and I think we have had some aardwolf sightings in the last 10 days. One on the Oldonyo camera, and then there was also an aardwolf seen at Mobula with Amy and Cameron last week, so that was pretty exciting. During the day even, burrowed in his little den site. Katrina, thank you for joining us as well. So you join us on this lovely day. What a lovely Tuesday it is. Got Nyala drinking down there. Got some impala. Our elephant bull still standing, hiding his head behind the tree. And Catherine, I agree with you there. I am very excited to see what the bush is going to bring for us today. Yesterday, there was so much going on, it was almost impossible to even keep up. We had a buffalo pool party. So last week, I was also on the live at the waterholes quite a bit, and we had a few elephant parties, pool parties. But yesterday, we had buffalo pool parties, really cool elephant sightings. Of course, we had also at Old Donyo lots of zebra, a massive dazzle of zebra with a couple of giraffe. There was just all of the locations were pumping, teeming with life and activity. But those buffalo, they were all rosy pan. Must have been at least 40, 50 buffalo, all inside the pan, around the pan, all over the place. And then, of course, we ended off the show. It couldn't have been a better ending with all of those oryx or gemsbok, the giraffe, elephant. Let's go and see what hyena activity is going on at Jabulani, folks. Okay, let's just observe here and see what is going on here. Oh dear. Looks like it could be a mating pair of hyena. It's two hyenas mating. Goodness gracious me. Isn't this an interesting sighting? So this poor male hyena is probably struggling to get an extra height that is much needed. So I'm sure most of us are aware that female hyenas are a lot larger in size than male hyenas. So it can be quite challenging for a male hyena to mount a female when she's quite a lot bigger than he is. Let's just observe for a bit and see what's going to happen here. Because they're hiding just behind the bushes, Shane, probably just to get a little bit of privacy. Brazen-hearted, definitely agree with you there. This is rather fascinating, watching hyenas attempting to mate. Mercedes-Benz, I definitely agree with you there. Jabulani seems to be the place to be today. These hyenas have picked a very good location. So I'm not sure if most of you are actually aware that in the hyena species, she's actually one of the very few mammals that actually also has a very complex penile clitoris. So the female hyena also has a modified penis structure as well, and that is where she will also give birth through. So it is sort of an external labia which is fused together to form what is also called as a pseudoscrotum. And shame, unfortunately, in a lot of female hyenas, young hyena, in the birthing period, due to this very narrow birthing canal, a lot of young hyenas can actually die while giving birth to her first offspring because of getting trapped within this pseudoscrotum. Taking a bit of a break here. So, folks, we are in Jabulani here in South Africa, and we have just come upon a pair of mating hyena, which is not something you see every day, I must say. So this is the female that is closest to us on the left-hand side, and the male that's just taking a little bit of a break. We got a question about courtship display in hyenas. So obviously with the hyena social structure, the females are the bosses and in charge when it comes to their clans. So you'll generally have an alpha female. What's happening there? And she will be responsible for mate selection and also in charge of the clan. So it's quite a dominant structure with these hyena species. And of course, sometimes the fights between them can be quite brutal and quite grueling. I'm sure, as everyone knows, with the Juma clan, all of the politics that has taken place there. It's quite crazy how family structures work. Oh, and off these hyena have gone. Well, folks, that was rather exciting to watch, I must say. All right, seeing as our mating hyena have left us, let's link back across to Old Donyo and see what is waiting for us in Old Donyo, Kenya. Welcome back to Aldonio, folks. It seems like our zebra have come back in the masses, just like yesterday. We had a lot of zebra here in Aldonio, and you can also see the back end of an oryx. Wow, so yeah, I did get a question about our mating hyena. So just to answer your question there about the hyena and the courtship display. So obviously because the females are kind of at the top of the food chain in the hyena world, they're definitely dominant over the males. The mating display which will take place, which of course the female is the one responsible for mate selection. The male will often run around the female or follow the female with a very strange grunting call, approaching and avoiding the female and kind of cowering away or cowering down when she approaches him in order for her to inspect this male and decide whether she is choosing him as a suitable mate. Look at the zebra here. I wonder how many oryx we have today. The zebra is definitely curious of us. What's going on? Hello, Zebby. And there's a hugely pregnant female zebra that was just on the right-hand side of the screen. So you see, folks, there's a very, very pregnant female zebra here. Wow, she looks like she's about to pop any day. Wow. So gestation period of these zebra is about 360 to 365 days. It's a whole year. Goodness. She is quite large, I must say. Look at those stripes. They're definitely extended as far as they can go. So the similar gestation period as with horses. And yeah, it's a very long time to be pregnant, poor thing. And in the last 2 months, they are very round and cumbersome. Shame, poor zebra. I'm pretty sure she's probably going to give birth within the next couple of days, because that must be very uncomfortable walking around with that giant pot belly. So again, we were talking about migrations yesterday and how this large collection of zebra we've been seeing here recently could all be part of the migration, all starting to congregate and collect together, normally after winter in about June, July. That's when a lot of the animals will start collecting in larger numbers and beginning to form the migrations. I mentioned yesterday that I did see quite large groups of zebra also heading towards Nata in Botswana. That is also very well known for having very large migratory mammal species coming through there, like zebra and wildebeest. Unfortunately, this year I don't know if there's going to be much water for them to get to there. But yeah, really awesome to see so many zebra all together. We've got some wattled starling females on the right-hand side, also coming for a drink, and shame this poor pan is drying out quite a lot. Yesterday there was a little bit of a puddle still on the right-hand side, which is no longer today. And this young little zebra filly or foal that we have here could possibly be anything between about 1.5 to 2 years, I'd say. Still quite a youngster. There was a zebra recently spotted in Zimbabwe in Wangi National Park that it's quite a strange one, I must say. It almost looked like it had a QR code on the back, on its back. So yeah, I guess even zebras are evolving to fit in with the times, and maybe they wanted to, yeah, also have their QR code accessible and close by. So Darcy Miller, that would be rather exciting, Darcy, to see a zebra birth happening right here on screen in front of us. Would be pretty cool. Zebra generally drop their foals at night, but I do know of zebra also giving birth during the day as well. So especially with this large female, when it's time to drop, it's time to drop. I have actually seen a zebra giving birth on 2 occasions, and fortunately or unfortunately, it was always on the way to or from a game drive, and always kind of surprising on the side of the road again at night. As you turn around a corner, headlights are shining on the just a little section of the road, and a female zebra just giving birth right there, boom, next to the road. I was a little bit traumatized both times, I must say, but luckily it was only brief for a couple of seconds. We didn't want to stop and disturb her at all, so we just decided to carry on and leave her in peace, because I don't want to cause any extra stress to these animals during that very traumatic time in their lives, giving birth. So Kiara is asking, yes, I hope that answers your question, Kiara. So yes, I have seen two live zebra births. Probably wildlife-wise, I've seen zebra births, I've seen rhinos being born, obviously a few horses being born as well. What else have I seen? I've seen a baby chameleon being born. I think that was probably the most unusual of all and less traumatic. Yeah, the birthing period can be quite a traumatic time for all creatures. But baby chameleons giving birth was quite cute, I must say. And of course, little baby crocodiles hatching. Again, chameleons also hatch out of a little egg sac as well. So let's have a listen to the zebra. I feel like there's going to be some nonsense breaking out here, so we'll just have a few quiet moments to just enjoy listening to the zebra, see if we get some vocalizations being heard there. We are here in Oldonyo over in Kenya, and yeah, it's beautiful to see all these zebra in this pan today. We've also got some starlings, some wattled starlings that have arrived on the right, lots of butterflies, but we just want to enjoy a bit of a moment of silence watching the zebra, see if we can get some vocalizations. Yeah, interesting to hear the zebras giving a bit of a neigh or a call here or there. So Jive Bunny, I definitely agree with you there. It is incredible how a lot of antelope have to recover so quickly from when they give birth. Within minutes, they can actually stand and walk and run. Otherwise, yeah, they'd definitely be much at risk from a lot of predators. Some beautiful starlings that have just arrived here. It looks like the chestnut-bellied starling. How incredibly beautiful are those starlings? Anyone, I think it's the chestnut-bellied starlings, but if anyone knows of another name of these starlings, please feel free to let know. They are very beautiful with that white stripe. The chestnut bellied that I have on my app doesn't have a white stripe, so I am wondering if it's another species of starlings. If we have any birders out there, please feel free to let me know. what I also find very fascinating about a lot of baby antelope, especially like zebra, impala, most antelope actually, the babies have very long legs so that when they're born, they are the same height as their mother's belly so that they're not can't easily be picked up as being smaller or shorter than the adults. So they have very long wobbly legs when they're born. All right, so I was just doing a little bit of a search quickly, and I think these are the superb starlings, not the chestnut-bellied starlings. Struggling to find it in my book here, but it looks like it is the superb starlings that we had. Beautiful chestnut. I love that white ring and vent that they have there. Of course, very piercing eye and beautiful blue-green iridescence in their feathers when hit by the light. There they are. How beautiful are those starlings? Must be said, it's probably one of my favorite starlings because they do very much stand out. Coming for a bit of a drink. So Jive Bunny, yes, I have witnessed quite a few rhino births. Again, must say, was quite traumatizing. I'm glad I was just there. I think it was when I was very young. My dad actually, yeah, he spent many of his years um, breeding rhinos and breeding projects and on game reserves. And of course, a very close protection when it comes to our rhino species. So I was very lucky to grow up very close to a lot of these wild animals. Check these starlings, man. Aren't they so beautiful? Wow, I'm blown away by these superb starlings. Aren't they superb? And you can see the wattled starling female shame. It's not as impressive in comparison. Although the male of wattled starling does get pretty cool. He's got some yellow wattles black on his head, but nothing nearly as beautiful as these chestnut. Oh, sorry, these superb starlings. They've almost got like a tinge of yellow on their side. Have a look when their kind of wind blows their feathers. They kind of have a bit of yellow on the side. Is that a brown scraper thrush there? What is this other bird we have? Ah, it actually looks like a juvenile wattled starling. Catherine, I definitely agree with you there. The colours are beautiful. And check out them having a bath, flapping their wings about, all the different colours being shown there. Let's listen to the sound of these beautiful, superb starlings having a bath. So Joanne Mello, thank you very much for your bee eater comment. So I do love birds. Birds are always a saving grace, especially when you're not seeing too much of a wildlife. Bee birds are always there, but the bee eater family is definitely one of my favorite families. Joanne Mello, I'd love to know which your favorite bee eater is. Obviously, in southern Africa, the common bee eaters are your little bee eater. Obviously, we do get the carmine bee eaters in some parts of Zimbabwe, mainly Botswana and Zambia. We do get our European bee eaters flying over, as well as in some areas, white-fronted bee eaters also quite common. But the more rare bee eaters in southern Africa would then be, and they confuse me every time, is the olive bee eater, as well as there's another one. There's a small olive bee eater and blue-cheeked bee eater. Those are the two that do often confuse me quite a bit. Yeah, very beautiful bee eaters. My favorite bee eaters from West Africa, I must say, is definitely the smaller forest bee eaters. the black bee-eater and the blue-headed bee-eater, very cool little mysterious bee-eaters. Very, very beautiful. The black bee-eater is almost completely black with iridescent blue and a red, kind of red throat patch, often occurring along rivers. You see them, that bright iridescent color flashing as they come past you. And then the blue-headed bee-eater is normally in more kind of eye-level ground canopy, or kind of ground floor of the forest, more like kind of mid-strata canopy, also very beautiful, generally in pairs. Of course, the white-throated bee-eater is a very beautiful one. If you've been to Uganda, I'm sure you would have seen the white-throated bee-eater. Black-headed bee-eater is another fan favorite. Camouflage experts. We just have some Cape turtle doves here. The animals are giving the birds a chance to enjoy a bit of a bath today. So yes, we're also getting a lot of comments coming through about the sugar birds and hummingbirds, also by Lady Macbeth. Yes, I agree with you there. The sunbirds and sugar birds are very beautiful little birds. I have seen hummingbirds in South America before, and they're a lot bigger than our bee-eaters. I mean, our little hummingbirds. Well, yeah, the hummingbird is a lot bigger than our sunbirds here in Africa. So the hummingbird is in South America, in the Americas. Of course, in Africa, we do get the sunbird, and the hummingbird is capable of flapping its wings at about 80 beats per second, which is one of the fastest wing beats of any bird species in the world. Isn't that incredible? Their hearts also beat very, very fast with that very quick wing beat, and then obviously meaning that they have a very short lifespan. So it's either 80 wing beats per second or 200 wing beats per minute. So I'm reading another, there's 2 hummingbird species, so it can be, shucks, so incredible, these tiny little hummingbirds, their hearts beating so quickly in order for their wings to beat. So the ruby-throated hummingbird can actually beat its wings 200 times per second. So I guess the average of most hummingbirds is anything from 80 to 200 wing beats per second. So in the time you blink, a little hummingbird can beat its wings over 200 times. Isn't that incredible? Catherine, I definitely agree with you. There are definitely way too many bee-eater species to choose, or bee-eaters to choose from. So I would love to see all the bee-eaters in Africa one day. Just the ones that a few that I have not seen that I would still love to see is obviously the northern carmine bee-eater. I haven't never seen the rosy bee-eater, although I have been in its range, but haven't seen it yet. The Bones bee-eater, which occurs on the kind of coast of South Africa and into Madagascar. That one, again, I haven't heard it, but never actually properly gotten to see it. And the red-throated bee-eater would also be a pretty epic bee-eater to see, I must say. Looks like we have a lot of bird enthusiasts today, which always makes me super excited. Let's see, what other birds do we have bouncing around today? Still some starlings in the background there, lots of butterflies coming to enjoy the water from the pan. I don't think I've ever had a day at Aldonio without the wattled starling. Seems like a very popular spot. Again, it's not breeding season for the males at the moment, so you won't see any males in breeding plumage. Generally just see the females or males in non-breeding plumage. Wow, it's an elephant, folks. We have a big jumbo elephant coming to join us at the pan. Just checking out that water. It seems like he's not too impressed with this water. He'd much rather some nice fresh water come directly from the pipe itself. In a lot of areas, elephants will break the pipes that are leading to a lot of these water holes because the water's a lot cleaner and a lot fresher. Again, I don't know if I would want to drink water from a pan like this one that's had zebra in all day. The pan yesterday had 30, 40, 50 buffalo all moving through there, so I don't think I would want to drink that dirty water either. Listen to him sucking with his trunk. Does not seem very happy with this water, this elephant. Keeps sucking at something. Imagine that trunk, 40,000 muscles in the elephant's trunk. And the human body only has 600 muscles. Isn't that crazy if you think about it? Having an extended nose on your face that can be used as a hand, an arm, fingers, a straw, all in one. Hello, big boy. Aren't you pretty? I wish he could tell us all the stories. I bet this big elephant bull could tell us a lot of stories. Canine Girl, thank you for joining us today, Canine Girl. I see we're having a lot of people commenting about our bee eaters and sugar birds, and yes, definitely bee eaters and hummingbirds, sugar birds, sunbirds do catch a lot of people's attention because they're bright colors, and yes, they are very busy birds, Canine Girl, and also quite predictable, which is nice. It enables you to be able to take some decent photos of them because they generally, it's giving his ear a bit of a scratch, so they'll generally come back to the same perching branch. So they'll swoop down, try and catch a insect in flight, or an insect on a wing, or a bee, or grasshopper, or whatever they can catch, and then they'll generally come back to the same branch. So if you're sitting watching bee eaters, if they're on the same little branch or blade of grass, the smaller bee eaters, generally they'll come back to the same spot. Or if you find them actually roost, sometimes the bee eaters, they nest in little gabions or mounds on the sides of the road, even riverbanks. If you find their holes, get beautiful pictures of them coming into their nesting sites. So that would be the white-fronted bee eater, as well as the carmine bee eater, is very well known in the Zambezi Valley, in Zambia, Mana pools, for having massive colonies of carmine bee eaters, very beautiful pink bee eaters coming into nest all at the same place. Also in Botswana as well. Those big elephant feet that we were talking about yesterday, that they absorb the vibrations through the ground. We have all of our superb starlings gone. Shame. Wattled starlings are not the most attractive looking birds, I must say. Lots of mud here. This is a perfect wallowing spot for some warthogs. I'm surprised we haven't seen warthogs yet. Coming for a wallow here. Nice buffalo bull would enjoy to wallow around in that mud. Right, well, it seems like we don't have too much going on this side in Donyo. Why don't we head across to Ukukuyu over in Etosha in Namibia? Oh, goodness gracious me. I wonder if we're going to have a pool party today. Last week we were super lucky and we did manage to experience a couple of pool parties here in Ukukuyu in Etosha National Park in the northern parts of Namibia. Looks like we also have some giraffe. I can see two giraffe there, possibly another gemsbok, and looks like we have some more elephants joining us. So while we have these elephants here, why don't we have a quiet moment to just watch these elephants, listen to the rumbles and grumbles and all the strange sounds that I'm sure they're going to make because it looks like a pool party's about to break loose. Come on, elephants, let's have a food party now. What's happening? You hear some crows calling in the background there. They also have the pied crow over in Russia. Lisa, I agree with you there. This is definitely a very beautiful scenery to have these elephants. Yes, there's a little bit of activity. Sometimes you just need to have a few sacrifices to go and enjoy the water first. Get everyone to come in and enjoy having a lovely pool party. Seems like only a few individuals in the water. Maybe it's a bit of a cooler day over in Etosha. Interesting, this big bull that's quite close to us. We've been talking quite a lot the last 2 weeks about elephant tusks and how different elephants in different environments. Obviously, with the elephants, there are only 3 different species of elephants, but within different regions, they might have either slightly different colors depending on the soil types, which might make them look different, as well depending on the minerals in different areas that might affect the length of their tusks. Minerals and genetics in the gene pool, you never see, it's very rare in most of these elephants here. Look at this baby on the right hand side. Give a bit of attitude. Well, so in Etosha, it's very most likely rare, very rare to see elephant with much longer tusks. You can see this big boy that's here, a big bull, yet his tusks are quite short and stumpy, and that could be due to the mineral deficiencies in Etosha. There is a lot of salt in Etosha, but not too much other minerals to assist these elephants in having long calcium rich tusks. So Catherine is also asking about these elephants, if they clean themselves. Well, sorry folks, it looks like we had some technical difficulties. The camera in Etosha is giving us some trouble. See a nice elephant bull. Where are we now? It looks like bull. Bye. Hello, boy. What's happening? So we are currently in Mandeli Dam, which is a very nice close-up view of this elephant. We don't often get to see an elephant that close. Really down here. There's a nice pan there. Oh, looks like fresh water. So we did get a question earlier about elephants and do they prefer to have clean water. Yes, most definitely. An elephant will always take clean water over dirty, muddy water any day. My last trip to Botswana, there was a giant pipeline, as I'm sure a lot of you that have traveled to Botswana know. Botswana is just filled with very straight, long roads that head north to south and east to west. And along some of these roads, there's very big pipelines that they've put in, which every maybe kilometer or 3 to 4 kilometers, where there's a joining point, a lot of the elephants have damaged the pipes, formed little pans for themselves, and crossing these big distances without having water. And a lot of the elephants will stop at these little elephant-made little watering spots and have a bit of a drink on their way through, probably to the Delta or back through to Zimbabwe, depending on which time of the year it is. And Catherine, yes, it is good to see the water levels all stable in some areas, although they are dropping quite a bit, especially in Mildonia. That pan definitely seems to have gotten a lot less full in the last 2 weeks. And I agree with you on that one. Elephants are always entertaining, Canine Girl. Lovely to see the elephants. We were talking quite a lot yesterday. My fun fact for the day yesterday was we were talking about mammoths. Something popped up on my phone on the weekend about a little baby mammoth fossil, or actually, a mammoth live, a preserved mammoth that had been preserved in permafrost that could be anything between 50 to 55,000 years old, that was found by a miner in the Yukon. Incredible that was still intact. I'm sure they are going to do some amazing things with this mammoth, and some pretty incredible discoveries could take place, because it wasn't actually a fossil, it was a whole baby mammoth. So if you have your phone or Google close by, I'll definitely Google baby mammoth recently found. Only ever 2 mammoth species ever found. Of course, we're talking about the different elephant species that occur. So back in the ice ages, there was anything from about 15 to 17 different species of elephants, ranging anything from the size of a donkey, apparently. I saw in a museum online, there's apparently a museum of a elephant mammoth creature that's almost the same size as a donkey, and then of course elephants ranging from 10 to 25 pounds. What is happening? There's a little bird down there. Yeah, very large elephants back in the day, during the ice ages. Of course, it's dwindled down from 15 to 17 species. Now we are actually only down to 3 different elephant species. One being the Indian or Asian elephant, or forest elephant, which is actually subdivided, officially declared its own species only in 2021, although they did diverge and split into separate species many thousands of years ago. They've only recently actually officially declared a separate species. So, that's our 3 species: Indian/Asian elephant, the forest elephant, and of course the savanna or bush elephant that we are very well accustomed to. I mean, a lot of people think that the desert elephant might also become its own species, but in fact, I think the correct term for desert elephant is more the desert adapted elephant. They're actually not a separate species. Still known as the bush elephant. It's incredible how these massive creatures communicate with each other with very low frequency rumbles and vibrations that travel through the ground, and actually sensed by the elephant's feet through the toenails. It's incredible that they communicate. A lot of the elephant's communication goes through the ground, through low frequency rumbles and vibrations. And this poor elephant's tusks don't look very useful at all, I must say. You can hear these elephants drinking here, sucking up the water with their trunks, looking into their mouth. Fascinating to finding these blood vessels in the veins. Someone's a bit upset. There's this elephant plastic ears. Away, cooling itself down. So you can see the sun is obviously blazing bright at midday, getting to the hottest time of the day. Enjoying having a nice drink, trying to cool themselves down. These elephants decided to take a nice mud bath. I must say that's not the cleanest water to take a mud bath in, but they're enjoying themselves. That was a very short-lived mud bath, I must say. He did not hang around for long, did he? If there's any elephants still around. I guess happy hour is over then. Oh, no, he's still coming back for a drink. Not quite done yet. This elephant seems like he's very much contemplating life. Well, maybe he's also going to go and take a bit of a mud bath before he disappears as well. And Mandy, I do agree with you there. It is really such a privilege to be able to see these elephants at such close quarters, especially from the comforts of our home. I don't know if any of you out there have had any traumatizing or scary encounters with elephants. I know every now and then you do get a guest here and there that Shem's maybe had a bit of a traumatic experience with elephants, even if it was a safe situation. Sometimes just an elephant turning and shaking its head can frighten some people. So I know, yeah, Shem, these encounters might be quite petrifying, even though you are 100% safe. So it's nice to be able to watch close by and not have to worry. Although, as long as you're quiet in the vehicle and watch them and going about their day, as long as you don't bother them, they're generally happy. Of course, there are the signs to look out for, like female elephants with babies. Definitely need to give them a bit of extra space, and any elephant bulls might be a must. Otherwise, generally, other elephants, if you're driving by, as long as you switch off your vehicle, don't make too much noise, they are very happy for you to just quietly sit and watch them. There we go. He has decided that he wants to give himself a nice mud bath. This water is quite dirty water as well, so he's going to be quite nice and black after this mud bath. Why don't we have a listen to this beautiful elephant bull bathing himself? We have some more visitors to our pan. And this elephant has a bit of a tattered piece to his ear there. You can see it hanging down. Oh, looks like bachelor bulls. This camera might even get a little bit muddy. Oh, I can't imagine anything worse than being covered in black mud right now. That mud probably does not smell very good either. They'll go and let this mud dry off and then go and rub up against a tree and help to remove any parasites, exfoliate their skin. Also acts as a very good sunblock, I must say, to protect the skin from the sun and parasites. Of course, any ticks that might be on their skin before their mud bath, they do rub off a lot easier than thick mud. He's spraying himself as if he was spraying himself with a hose pipe. So while we are enjoying this elephant bull giving himself a mud bath, a bit of an update from Djuma today. This morning's drive on Djuma seemed to be quite entertaining and exciting, I must say. So I know they have a photographer that is going to be joining on the drives on Djuma for the last couple of days and maybe for a few more days. Danielle Castings, she is a very talented photographer, going to be joining, and yeah, what amazing sightings they can get. So enjoying Djuma, which seems to be rather busy. Lots happening in Djuma. A lot of lion activity on Djuma. The Plains Camp males seem to be male lions seem to be still around Djuma. Very light in color, very pretty boys. Typically don't have much of a dark mane like the dark maned lions. Yeah, to see so much lion activity over in Djuma. There's also the Nkumbula males. We're also seen chasing away another, possibly an unknown male or an intruder. So yeah, lots of lion activity going around on Djuma. And Kalamba was also seen. I don't know if any of our viewers were watching the sunrise safari. I know there's lots of us asking the question if the Queen of Djuma, the leopard Kalamba, still has her cubs in tow. Yeah, I know we're dying to know. Also, a lot of leopard. Well, the leopard seems to be a leopard paradise at the moment. All the leopards in the Kruger area seem to be having babies. Seeing a lot of pictures from the Kruger sightings groups of baby leopards. And Olanga also has some little ones at the moment that are also very adorable. Saw a couple of pictures. Looks like there could be 2 or 3 of them on Chitwa. Really epic to see so many baby leopards around. I wonder, just we all have our fingers crossed that Kalamba cubs are all going to be okay. I know one has been seen periodically in the last couple of days, but I don't know if anybody has any idea of Columba's cubs? Love to know if they've been seen recently. Catherine, thank you for your story on your traumatic elephant experience. Yeah, sounds like you had quite an encounter there. Again, some people can be quite petrified when it comes to elephants, but driving off in a hurry doesn't always solve your problems. And once elephants realize it's fun to chase vehicles, then you really do have yourself a problem there. So it's always best to switch off your vehicle, just remain calm, um, let the elephants go about their day, even if it takes them 5-10 minutes to cross the road. They were here before us, so we always have to just give them their space and patience in order to go about their day. But sometimes I know they can be super stubborn. You might have to encourage them gently to move off of the road. But that's our humans' biggest problems is we're always in such a rush to go everywhere. We sometimes just forget to just take it easy a bit, slow down, watch the elephants, enjoy, and yeah, once the elephants have moved, then carry on our drive. I've once had an elephant crossing in front of me of one of the biggest herd of elephants that I've ever seen, which is a presidential herd of elephants in Zimbabwe. It can be anything from 250 to 300 elephants, all that collect together during the dry season, and I've once had them crossing the road in front of me. Luckily that day I wasn't in too much of a rush to get anywhere because it took me a good 45-minute wait for these elephants to finish crossing. I actually took a time lapse of that, and they look like little ants crossing the road in the hundreds of thousands. This elephant bull has managed to completely cover himself in all of this mud. I guess he definitely was rather hot. I'm not too sure if there's too much wildlife that'll be keen to drink out of this pan, but then again, in the dry season, when water is short, you'll be surprised what will come and drink from this pan. Anything that can drink from the main kind of water source at the top on the right there will definitely rather drink the clean, fresh water. Oh, seems like he had a bit of dead legs there. He struggled to move his back legs out of the water, or he could have got stuck in the mud a little bit. The next time you're on safari, I definitely suggest you with your guide and you do pass a rubbing post, definitely give it a feel. There's some rubbing posts and rubbing trees that elephants will often use, for example, near a pan like this, that are quite often used, and some of them have been rubbed completely smooth, and it is the smoothest thing you'll ever feel. The older they are, the more smooth they get. And you can tell the different types of rubbing posts depends on what height of the tree has been rubbed on. Lower down could be, oh, he's giving his eye a wipe. He's got some mud in his eye. There's like a few more bulls scattered all over the place. Also trying to look for some food and grass. So yeah, if we have any viewers that watched any of the live drives this morning, I'd love to know what other updates were happening at our locations. I did have a look, but unfortunately, it seems like there was so much excitement on Juma, not too much came up on any other locations. I know there was a Again, seem to be a lot of nice misty mornings in Amakhala, in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. Water buck activity this morning. Otherwise, I didn't really see too much else happening on the other locations. I think Djuma was definitely the star of the show this morning. So please send through any cool sightings you might have had on the morning sunrise safari. I do know that we did have some pictures coming up somewhere of the dam cam at Djuma. We did have some night owls that were busy watching the dam cam and got a saddlebill stork, 2 saddlebill storks on the dam cam at Djuma, as well as a genet, which was pretty cool, I must say. But the saddlebill storks excited me. I mean, genets are quite common to see in camera traps and are one of the nocturnal or crepuscular mammals that mostly come out at night. But to see 2 saddlebill storks standing in the dam at Djuma on the dam cam was pretty exciting to see, I must say. All right, well, let's head over to Oldonyo and see if our pool party is commencing in Oldonyo over in Etosha National Park. Nope. Oh, sorry, we're back in Kenya, Oldonyo, Kenya, and we have some warthogs that have joined us. I was just talking about this mud and how it looked like it was perfect for warthogs to come and have a mud bath. Let's see if these warthogs, what are they going to do? They're a bit nervy. On the right, they're a bit nervous. Warthogs definitely have to be super alert because they are on the menu for a lot of predators, especially lion, leopard, wild dog, cheetah, hyena, everything will love to snack on a little scrumptious warthog. He loves their pork, right? Let's listen to this female warthog having a bath. Looks like a female warthog with her 2 little ones. Almost a year old already, probably. They look big enough. And we've got an oryx over there. I did see a giraffe head feeding on some acacia leaves, or cherry leaves. The female warthog is very lucky to still have 2 little ones with her. Often a female warthog will give birth to anything from 2 to 6 baby warthogs, but if 1 or 2 survive, she is very lucky. The success rate of warthogs surviving is very rare. To have all of them actually survive because of high predator numbers. Oryx is enjoying the shade of the tree here. Look at those fascinating stripes of this oryx. It's getting quite warm. It's standing in the shade. What's something happened? Something chased the warthogs. Oryx is also having a look. So as we were talking about earlier, different antelope species, the same as with the oryx, they will kind of hide their newborn baby, sometimes for a few weeks when it is first born. in order to have its baby imprint on it before joining back with the rest of the herd, so that it does not get lost and kind of orientate itself and protect it from predators. The oryx is in quite good condition, I must say. Could be a solitary male, although yesterday we did have a nice herd of oryx here with at least 6 to 10 oryx. Looked like there were a couple of females there. So these oryx are mainly herbivores, mostly feed on grass and herbs and tubes and plants, but because of their very remote kind of areas they live in, they do actually sometimes dig for roots, tubers, bulbs, fruit and melons. They can dig these things up, obviously, because they live in such arid areas with not much food. So it's quite interesting. It's such a big antelope will also dig for roots and tubers, even melons at times. Melons would contain a lot of water, and that could also help to provide them with water that they might not have access to. Let's see, what birds do we have around? Any interesting birds? Any more superb starlings and wattled starlings? Maybe white-browed sparrow weaver. Love to see a gymnogene somewhere here, would be pretty cool. We had the secretary birds at Oldonio last week. And that tree actually looks like a perfect tree for a secretary bird nest. Oh, there we go. We got some wattled starlings there. Wattled starling. Oh, no, looks like it could be a little laughing dove. Balancing very strategically on the end of that acacia branch. You must have to be very, very delicate with the way he's balancing there. You would not want an acacia branch going up my bottom. What is around? Oh, there's a little lizard possibly on a vantage point on the top of this log here. Could be a little lizard of some sort. Talking about leopard earlier and how a lot of leopard are having babies. Lots of regions, mostly in South Africa. I've been asking around in Zimbabwe if there's been any known baby leopard sightings yet, because I'll be going on my next safari soon in Zimbabwe, and I'd love to know if there's any areas with some leopard. But fortunately, yeah, seems like there's a lot more baby leopard recorded in South Africa. Hello, zebra. I know Mowati was seen recently on Chitwa Chitwa. Very nice sightings of Mowati. He is a very big, impressive boy, I must say. With piercing yellow eyes. I did not know if it had such interesting eye colors. When I started started at Wild Earth and was on Juma, we got exposed to a lot of leopard behavior that I was not aware of, and of course, like being able to see leopards so closely, realize their eyes actually range in color from yellow to orange, blue, green. It is actually crazy how different leopard's eye colors can actually be. Zebra here having a drink. Zebra, this has been a very popular zebra spot the last couple of days. Let's start the show with a few zebra here earlier. And I'm actually wondering why zebra in Kenya have such short manes. You see on this zebra on the right hand side. So I don't know if any of you are interested in horses. I know, Karen, you are a horse woman as well. This zebra on the right hand side looks like he's being prepared for a show of some sort. Maybe he's going to the Animal Olympics. A lot of equestrian sports do require you to shave your horse's manes or definitely cut it a lot shorter. And I was just wondering why a lot of these zebra in Kenya have shorter manes. It could be some sort of adaptation, maybe because of the high population of zebra in order to not get caught up while fighting. Obviously in Kenya there's a lot of zebra, a lot of fighting. It might be some sort of adaptation to avoid having extra hair that another male could easily grab onto. Oh, watch out the mud there, boy. Yeah, some of these zebra barely have any mane at all. Or maybe they're going for the more sleek, dapper kind of look. Do you have something under the acacia tree on the right hand side in the distance there? I'm really struggling to see what it is. Could just be some more zebra standing in the shade. Maybe some gemsbok or the oryx. Their main adaptation could be also to protect them from predators. And we have another nice big elephant bull coming to join us here in Aldonio. Hello, big boy. You have very beautiful tusks. That looks like some more oryx there. The elephant's bottom. Some oryx. Right, could be some. Oh, it could be eland. We did see eland here yesterday. Could be a zebra lying down in the shade. Oh, this looks like a perfect leopard tree, actually. You can even see where an elephant has also pulled the branch there, maybe trying to feed on some of that acacia bark in order to fulfill some medicinal uses. Yep, there we go. We have a zebra lying down in the shade on the right hand side. So, whoop, elephant trunk. Hello, hello. I don't know where we now. There's some eland on the left. On one of the comments that came through the other day, I asked a question about hides and what's everyone's most memorable hide experience. And I'm sorry, I can't remember which viewer it was, but one of our viewers did send through a comment that he was watching some elephants on from a hide, and all of a sudden his binoculars became blurry that he was looking through, and all of a sudden there was a bush snake that had managed to slide itself right in front of his binoculars. So of course he got quite a fright, which is kind of how I felt in this moment of that elephant walking right in front of the camera, right in front of us there. Two big elephant balls coming to have a drink down by the waterhole. I must say, I'm dying to get back out into the bush. It is almost about time. I've been in Johannesburg for almost a week, going on 2 weeks now. And yes, I'm dying to get myself back into the bush. I'm going to be in the saddle this time next week. I'm going to be in a saddle riding in Zimbabwe in Wangi National Park. They've been having some pretty awesome lion sightings on horseback. They did have a leopard sighting too. And earlier in the year, I actually had a sighting of a wild dog kill, 16 wild dog, dismembering and taking apart a kudu that was actually on horseback. My first ever wild dog kill on horseback, which was quite exciting to watch, except for when the wild dog decided that we were quite interesting and wanted to come and check us out. Then my heart started beating a little bit faster, but that was really epic. So yeah, I'm dying to get back out into the bush and into a saddle and just ride horses every day for as many hours as possible. Probably have to rip me out of that saddle, I must say. Catherine, I'm sure you are dying to go on your next horseback safari as well. So, no. Yeah, where is your next horseback destination? To Catherine, any of our viewers, I'd love to know where you are next going to be riding, if you are an equestrian or a horseman or horsewoman. Please feel free to send through your favorite equestrian destination or your next equine holiday. I was hoping to hit Horizon horseback as well in South Africa. I've still got that on my list for this year, so hopefully I will be heading through to Horizon horseback here in South Africa, I think Limpopo area. It'd be great. For now, I will be spending quite a bit of time the rest of the year riding in Zimbabwe. So Kayla, thank you for your question. Is asking, do zebra hooves overgrow like horses? So Kayla, it's very rare that I've seen zebra hooves overgrowing. More so, I think there's been more cases of split hooves in zebra, or more so abscesses and infections. So because zebra have such tiny little feet, little hooves, it's quite difficult for them to actually overgrow. I mean, obviously in some areas, maybe if they're mineral rich areas and their hooves grow at a rapid pace, if there is a chance of them getting overgrown hooves. But generally, more of the injuries I've seen in zebra have been abscesses. What happens is a tiny little stump or a spike or a thorn gets into the soft part of their hoof where the frog is there, and that can cause an infection. And any of our horsey fans that are watching, I'm sure you know this all too well with your horses. And if you have them out in nice paddock or pasture overseas, it's a little bit different. But here in Africa, we do struggle with all of these minor problems, horses grazing in paddocks or in game reserves or wilderness areas where there's a lot of, yeah, obstructions or objects that can hurt them. Impaling, a lot of horses do get impaled in a lot of places in Africa. Elephants are also not a very big fan of horses. They do not always like horses, especially if they are turned out loose. An elephant will definitely not think twice about stabbing a horse if he's not too fond of it. So, yeah, so I hope that answers your question. Actually, interesting question about the overgrown hooves. I've actually seen it a lot more in buffalo, Kayla. So buffalo, especially in South Africa, where we have a lot of the disease-free buffaloes, which are basically like very manicured buffalo that are overfed and treated like royalty because they are worth so much money. Um, they do end up, I have seen quite a few individuals that have ended up growing very long hooves and actually have to get a pedicure every couple of months. I think one reserve I worked in the Drakensberg, the buffaloes actually have had more pedicures than I think I have in my entire lifetime. So yeah, so if you are in a reserve and you have valuable animals like that you have access to, you can send a vet through to give them a bit of a filing of their hooves. That's great. But unfortunately, I did see one forest buffalo in West Africa that did not have this uh, attention available. It was actually in Central African Republic in Sangabai. A poor young buffalo obviously had these maldeveloped hooves that were actually curling around, almost like very, very long nails curling around into your hand. And Hashem, this poor buffalo was struggling to walk. He was very lucky he was in an open, safe area and didn't get eaten by any predators. But I think eventually they did organize some sort of veterinary team to come down and they actually did cut the hooves right. So zebra, besides abscesses, I wouldn't say so much overgrown hooves because they do use them a lot and they do file them down quite well. But I've definitely seen it a lot more common with buffalo species. All right, so let's head over to Nkoro, and I believe we have some more elephants there. Welcome back to the Sabi Sands, everyone, to Nkoro. Elephant herd here with that tiny little baby, folks. Look, there's a little baby there. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's too much water left in this pan. I'm sure once we do scan across later, we'll see a little bit more. This looks like a perfect mud wallowing spot. Big bull right here. Individual sand bathing on the left. Oh, he's just having the best time cooling himself down with that sand. Have a look. Watch these individuals, how they use their foot to scrape the dust into their trunk and throw it up over their head. So they'll do the same thing with vegetation or reeds or grass. The elephants, they'll use their front feet to kind of loosen the soil. There we go. Have a look. One on the left doing the exact thing. Use their foot to loosen the soil and either put it into their trunk or loosen the soil around a little clump of grass. Once they pull it up out of the ground, they'll normally beat it on the floor a few times, and this is to remove any excess soil or mud to prevent them from grinding their teeth down. If they eat that little bit of grass or vegetation, has too much sand, that does degrade their teeth very quickly. So you have to remove as much soil as possible, or in some cases reeds. I've seen elephants eating in rivers, and like along the Zambezi River, when they pull up some reed vegetation, they'll often swish it around in the water to clean it up nicely before they chomp away. Catherine, I think you and I are sitting in the same boat here. We're also having some bush withdrawals. I don't know. Well, what's happening, boys? What's happening? The elephant bulls, young bulls chasing each other. So I'm sure there's lots of us out there that are having bush withdrawals. We all sympathize with one another. And good luck with your next holiday, Catherine. I am very jealous of you going to Kenya in the Mara, Laikipia. Good luck finding Giza. I'm very excited to see any photos you manage to get of Giza, the black leopard in Laikipia. But over here in the Sabi Sands, look what we have, this tiny little baby elephant. Look at that little thing. You can genuinely tell the age of the elephant depending on its height in comparison to the mother, and where kind of if it is able to fit under the mother's belly. It's generally just under a year. Oh, these two bulls are having a bit of a fight here. Let's see what's happening. Ears up. Someone is not happy. We have had a super lucky day today with all the elephants on almost every one of our locations so far. I'm sniffing and smelling some. These two elephant bulls look like they had a bit of a disagreement. A bit of headbutting might have taken place. Looks like there's a pregnant female there. As the water levels start to dry up and the pans become less and less, as you can see, a lot of the stress levels in animals will start to rise, especially in elephants. They become protective over the water sources. see what's going to happen as these two big balls get close together here. I'm not sure what this one ball's doing with his trunk. Left here, it looks like he was trying to get some grass. I'm not sure. He's folding his trunk and resting it for a bit. Maybe he's trying to fall asleep. Checking what's there anything to eat? Looks like a big female actually. Protective of a kind of a girl. Wow, it's pretty close. She's coming for her close-up now. Check out that skin. Isn't that amazing? Must be coming to feed on some vegetation close to the camera. Almost feel her breathing. I wonder what is she doing? And you can see how cracked that skin of hers is. Maybe even see a bit of the fluff inside her ear there on the right hand side. What are they up to? We have a question here from Denzel. He's asking, do the elephants change their senses? Do their senses change as they grow? Do they become more or less heightened or effective with old age? So, Denzel, I wouldn't say their senses change much. Obviously, as they get older, I would say they become obviously slower, not as quick to respond. And obviously, the thing that changes the most would be their teeth. Obviously, elephants would wear down their teeth, and that is kind of what makes them difficult for them to feed. If they're not as young as they were, then they, yeah, definitely slower, more vulnerable to predators once their teeth start to wear down to their last few sets. And so generally they have 6 sets of teeth, so 6 sets of 4 molars within an elephant's lifespan. And if they're lucky enough to get a 7th set, and this is where obviously a lot of the age of an elephant depends on how well they wear their teeth. So in areas where there's not much soft vegetation, it definitely means elephants will wear through their teeth quicker. And once the elephants are on their last set of teeth, they will generally go to areas where there's a lot softer vegetation, like rivers. Well, it looks like we have some more elephants coming. So that's where we get the whole theory of an elephant graveyard. So it's not necessarily elephants all going to one place to die. It's more like elephants congregating in areas with soft vegetation. It's a shame. I have actually heard a very, very old forest elephant once We were on a boat on a river in the Congo, filming a very old forest elephant. Oh, look at these elephants. We've got more elephants coming to join the party in a rush. And shame this poor old forest elephant was right next to us as we were filming her with the National Geographic film crew. And the poor elephant, she could actually hear that I don't think she had any teeth left. She was really, on her last legs, really struggling to eat and feed. I've actually never seen an elephant so old like that. Her ears, so old, her ears were actually curling forward and all cracked. You can see her eyes had definitely seen a lot of things over her lifespan, and yeah, she was definitely a very, very old elephant. So, why don't we have a quiet moment here to just listen to the interaction that's probably going to take place as soon as these elephants arrive at this watering hole? All the politics, elephant politics that's about to take place. A lot more quiet than I was expecting. The elephants must be quite calm and relaxed. They are, yeah, sometimes there can be a lot of politics, a lot of screaming and shouting, a lot of aggressive behavior. Quiet, I must say. It seems to be getting on pretty well, although this pool that's just come about here, he looks like he's got a little bit of liquids. He's got these control plans, which means he's in must full. It could cause a little bit of upset or a little bit of disturbance. Just checking. I wonder if our pool party at Etosha has started yet. I was saying we had some great sightings last week of some really pretty cool pool parties, elephant pool parties in Etosha. So I'm just see if there's anything happening there. Seemed to be a lot of elephants collecting around the pan, but they all seem to be a little bit uh, reluctant to actually swim. So maybe it could mean that it's a colder day in Etosha. There might be as much activities happening, or maybe they're not as interested in swim. So yeah, that's maybe why we've not had some elephants yet. Seems like the oryx are having the party of the day today. This is an oryx in the pan earlier, and I love how the springbok and the treasure just walk straight into the water. How there's definitely no crocodile in that pan there. You in Natasha Park, relax. It's just like these elephants, very chill. 2 o'clock sounds like a good time to go and stand underneath the shady tree and let rest with the possible of the water. So there's not too much water in this pan left. You can see that this pan obviously receives quite a lot of elephant activity as all the grass has been cleared around the pan here. A lot of muddy elephant footprints all over the place, lots of little clearings. It would be a perfect little pan for a terrapin, although shame it's probably not going to have much water for very long. We had that one elephant that was right close up to the camera. That was pretty amazing to have that elephant so close up to the camera there. I'm very curious of what they were looking for. It could be maybe near the hide here or near the pole for this camera. Could be a little bit of grass that they were going for. You can see these elephants here, these 3 elephants. They are possibly mining in this little hole here. So there could be some minerals in the soil there. Have a look. They're sticking their trunk into this hole. We're trying to get some mineral rich soil. Yeah. And the baby's also going for the mineral there. Isn't that cute? I love baby elephants with their trunks. They always don't quite seem to know what to do with this long nose of theirs on front of their face. When they're young, they kind of like shake it around, like, what on earth is this thing? And kind of just play around with it. When they get to the water, they can see the other elephants are using their trunk to do something, but they're still not quite sure what to use this trunk of theirs for. So it does take quite a while for a little baby elephant to be able to maneuver its trunk and actually be useful to it. Like this little one. Hello, little one. Aren't you just adorable? Hogging them little mining spot by yourself there. Seems like quite a popular little mining spot, this. So this is what a lot of the elephants in West Africa practice mining too, so the behavior of mining. So because forest elephants don't receive as much nutrients and minerals from their food, because a lot of the vegetation they feed on in the forest is filled with water but not much nutrients. It's not very nutrient dense. So that's when forest elephants will actually, it's very important, this mining behavior of theirs. It's not only just to extract the minerals, but it's also very important for their social structure. So obviously forest elephants have a slightly, they are completely different to savanna elephants, I must say. And if you have never seen forest elephants, or it's not on your bucket list, I would definitely 100% recommend putting forest elephants on your bucket list, because their social structure is completely different. They have the most incredible eyes, their tusks. Oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. This big boy is enough. He does not want to share anymore. So yeah, they are completely different forest elephants. Those eyes range from yellow to, I've seen an forest elephant with white eyes before. Apparently you do get some with blue eyes. And of course they are adapting because they are so endangered and or critically, they're very much protected, and the populations have been so low for so long. Apparently they are recovering, but yeah, they've actually adapted their whole lifestyle because of being overpoached and not having safe areas to being mostly nocturnal. So yes, they do, obviously, like all elephants, they still need to feed and move around during the day, but this will be in very hidden areas and deep dark forests, places you don't want to be. And then at night they actually come out into these byes, which is a forest version of a pan, and that's when they forest elephants will actually come out at night and mine for minerals. And I must say, these sounds of forest elephants at night are can be quite they're very guttural, loud, screeching, screaming sounds that in the camps I've worked in West Africa, we would actually provide the guests with earplugs in their room, or if you have noise cancelling earphones, it's definitely useful, because the loud, screeching, screaming sounds of forest elephants mining at night, when you have anything from 40 to 70, 80, 90, 100 elephants all in one by, does cause a lot of politics, and there is a lot of screaming and shouting at one another. You know, they did use the sounds of forest elephants, the screams of forest elephants, or shouts or trumpets of forest elephants, for Jurassic Park. I believe the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park, there are 3 different animal vocalizations they took small recordings for to create those dinosaurs. So it's obviously forest elephants, lions, and also bears. We kind of compiled these 3 animals, different aggressive vocalizations, together to form the sounds of the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. I bet that's a fun fact you did not know. So yes, very interesting to watch these forest elephants mining, and same with savanna elephants also mining for minerals. It's definitely a very important part of the social structure in forest elephants. Whoop, looks like this is a big bull also coming to see what's going on. Looks like he's a bit frisky today, getting up to no good, of course. Okay, disturbing all the females and their little ones. So Kayla, thank you very much for joining us today at Live at the Waterhole. It has been a really lovely show today. Lots of elephant activity. No buffalo parties today. But yeah, lots of really cool sightings. Always amazing to see oryx. Lots of zebra, especially lots of elephant at all of our locations today, which was super lucky. I hope, Kayla, that you'll join us tomorrow again at Live at the Waterhole. Maybe we will get our secretary birds coming back in Kenya, in Oldonyo. Maybe we'll have another elephant pool party, and hey, who knows, maybe we'll even have another buffalo pool party. Oh, and I also forgot about our mating hyena. That was a pretty epic sighting that I've never seen before. So yeah, if you were with us today, I just want to say thank you very much from the Wild Earth team for joining us here live at the Waterhole. It has been a very eventful day, and I hope you will join us on our sunset safari coming up next. For me, for today, I want to say thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will be back here with you tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a good day, folks.